When we talk about Excel, mostly the wide range of functions pop up in our mind. Yes, that's right. Excel has so many functions, and an Excel lover can use. But I can tell you there are just some mostly important Excel formulas that anyone can learn and use widely instead of learning and using the bunch of formulas. Stick this note now in your mind. Every function or formula starts with equal. Now, let's learn these practical functions. Proper function. Here you see a form with strange texts. The uppercases, the lowercases, they are not following the text rule in writing. For having a proper names in Excel, we can use proper function. Out of this box, in one of these cells, I type it. Equal, proper. Double click on it. This function is selected. Then I select the first cell, which I want to make it proper, and press on Enter. You see, it is okay now. The first characters are in uppercase. For all cells, it is not needed to type this function one by one. Just select Sarah Jackson with proper formula, and from the right down corner, when the plus icon appears, select and drag down. Trim function. Between James and Cox, there is extra space. For removing extra spaces, we use trim function. So we did proper function, but also it is needed to trim. I double click on the first cell and before the cell address, type trim. Press Enter and drag it down. So not only this function propers the names, but also trims them. Paste the formula. Now I have to replace these proper names with improper ones. I copy the cells with functions, come back to names, and Sarah Jackson. If I paste, you see it is not copied and it contains errors. Because these proper cells contain formula, and this formula is linked to names. I press on Ctrl Z to step back and select Paste Values. It is okay now. Concatenate function. Jackson and Cox must be in surname. I cut them in their own column. But if you want to have name and surname cells in one cell, we have to use concatenate function. Text 1 is Sarah. The guide of this function is shown. Now, for the next text, we must use comma. Text 2 is Jackson. Press on Enter. They are combined. But there is no any space between name and surname. So I double click on it. After Sarah, there must be a space. I enter a space as text 2. But because this is the exact value that I want to see in the cell, I put it in quotation mark. Then comma, and text 3 is surname. Press Enter. That's it. I drag it down. Name and surnames are combined. Quotation mark. Whatever we type into this quotation mark, it will be shown in the cell. Let's test it with khonemun.com. Yes, it is shown. Anyway, you know now what's quotation marks responsible in Excel. Left function. When I look at the topic of this form, I see the project name is written with the code number. I just want to see the project name. So for seeing a specific string in a cell, use left or right functions. Because I want to see the characters from left side, type left, select the cell. The second criteria is number of characters. I type 23. It counts the characters from the left side which we type here. Press and enter. Pay attention. Left function counts the spaces also. You can test it with right function also. It is the same as left, but counts from right side of the text. Find function. We have a long topic. Just want to see the project name. I don't want to count the characters one by one from left side. I want to remove all words after code. If I want to do it myself without functions, I read the text from left side, and when I find code, I remove the rest. Now, let's make it easy and use functions. I can use left function. The text is the cell, then character number. Previously, we typed numbers, but now instead, I want to find code. So I use find function. Find which text? Code. And before code, there is a space. I type it also. Because this is a string, so I type it in a quotation mark. So until now, we said find code, but where? Again in the cell. Pay attention, this function is sensitive to uppercases. That's why I changed C to uppercase. The third parameter of this function is in square brackets, and it is optional, not necessary. So I miss it out. These are the simplest functions in Excel. They are somehow applicable and help you to save time.